Is AI replacing creative work, or is it just removing the parts that slow us down? In this video, I'm going to be looking at a few AI tools inside of Photoshop, Lightroom and Premiere Pro that I use on a daily basis to help speed up my creative workflow. Now, these tools help me work faster, but also still give me full creative control over my work. Now, every time a new AI tool turns up, there's this big fear of, oh my gosh, it's here to replace us. But let's talk about this. When cars were invented, we didn't stop walking. When planes were invented, we didn't stop traveling in boats and things like that. There's just a new way of actually getting to where we're going on our journey. And that's exactly how I feel when it comes to AI tools inside of these Adobe programs. This video is sponsored by Adobe, but all of these opinions are of my own, and these are tools that I use on a daily basis. Let's dive in and take a look. Now, for example, here's an image that I created. Yes, I created this using AI for this demonstration. And I wanted to kind of like change where this homemade pies was. Now, all we do is we come up, we select our lasso tool, and then on our lasso tool, we actually highlight the area we want to change, and we can choose generative fill, or we can choose generative remove. Click on this, and then boom, it's gone. It's as simple as that. This historically would have taken hours to do. I was then thinking like, well, actually I like the color of this car, but maybe I want it as a green car. And that's exactly what I could do. And it gives us a couple of different options. We've got this option A or option B. And you can see here, it's kind of like it's changed the resolution of that. But we can now actually come up to image and we can choose Generative Upscale. And then in the menu here, we choose the option of Topaz Gigapixel, and we can upscale this from 2 times or 4 times. And we just click the upscale option. And we can see here now, if I zoom into this, you can see how the car looked beforehand. And if we turn on the upscale image, you can see how much crisper that is. It's actually rescuing those images for us. Now, another option is Generative Expand, and this one has saved me more times than I care to mention. We're going to come up to our crop tool, and we can see here that if we've actually got, we've actually got our crop tool here, and we can see if I wanted to kind of create an Instagram image of this, I've not got enough pixels of this. I can try and expand it around and make it a little bit bigger, but you can see I'm going to have an area here that is there's no data there. There's no image. All I choose is Generative Expand. Click on Generate, and there we go. We've actually now got 3 different options that we can choose from in there. And this is saving hours that I would usually or previously have spent using the clone stamp tool, adding in bits of the road there, finding other bits of road that I might have been able to kind of bring in and match in there. And the same for the sky as well. It would take a long time to even expand this kind of like little bit of the sky. But now we've got that Generative Expand inside of Photoshop, and it saves so much time. Now, the last tool I want to show you inside of Photoshop is the Harmonize tool. So we've got our image here, and we've just brought in an image of these feet, and we're going to harmonize it so they actually look like that person's actually standing on the street. All we do is we select our layer, and then we click on Harmonize, and then that's going to actually add in there shadows and make it look like it's really there. It's not even just matching the shadows, it's matching the tones, the colors, and all of the lighting options, and making it look like it's actually there. And we can actually click on Harmonize again and generate more options if we want to do that. Next, I want to show you some of the tools that I use inside of Lightroom. So when I'm not using Photoshop, I'm using Lightroom, and I use it both on my mobile and also on the desktop. Now, here we've got, I was up, and I can't remember where I was now. I think this was when I was up in the Shard a couple of months ago, probably end of last year maybe. Anyway, I took this really nice picture, as I could see, out of there of Tower Bridge. It is Tower Bridge, not London Bridge, because London Bridge is a different bridge totally. But we can see here, as I've shot this out of the window, because I'm quite high up, we've got a lot of reflections. So what I chose to do was come into this image and actually apply this reflection remover. Now we can change down the amount of reflections. We can see here, we can even just have just the reflections there. but we can remove those reflections and it gives this image a much crisper, cleaner look. Now, that would have taken hours and hours of work previously, trying to get those reflections removed. Kind of like, in fact, most of the time I'd have probably just given up with the shot and not even bothered. But this shot was one that I really liked because of where I was. It was a unique experience, and being able to be up there looking out over the Bridge of London, known as Tower Bridge. It's not London Bridge. In this area here, that used to be City Hall, but it's not anymore because they've changed where they are. And out the back here, you're looking at Canary Wharf, which is where all of the financial district is. And just off screen, you've got the Tower of London. And the other option in here that I use on a regular basis is the Generative Remove tool. So we're going to come up to the Remove tool. We can see we've got Use Generative AI option selected. Now you can choose to use that, you can choose not to use that, and it just depends on your personal choices. But we want to kind of like, maybe kind of like just have a look at a couple of options here, and maybe we want to kind of just remove this little blob here. We don't want that in the background there. It's going to come over, actually need to click remove, and it's using Generative AI to actually remove this item for us. And you see, doesn't even look like it was there anymore. The circle's not really there. That's just showing us where we've removed it. Let's just say we wanted to remove the bus. Let's give this a go, see if it'll actually remove the bus. I'm just using a big brush there to paint the brush. And you can see it's actually removed that bus from the middle of the bridge there. So we can see, we can come over and it's actually removed a couple of those distractions. There might be other things that we want to remove, tidy up from an image. You've also got things like you can remove people and also dust. So if you've got dust on your lens and things like that, all of those are inside of the Lightroom option here. As I say, I use it on desktop and also on mobile, and it is so much fun and easy to use. Now we've got those AI tools. Now for my video editors out there or content creators, if you've ever been filming something and you thought, do you know what, I actually need an extra couple of seconds or up to a couple of extra seconds of an actual clip, well, inside of Premiere you can actually do that now. I've added an original video to the timeline here. You can see this one on the top here. This is my original one. You can see I can't drag that any further. But if we come down to this little tool here, you can see this is Generative Expand as a tool. And what you can then do is then drag that out. You can see I've actually created the clip below, but you can drag that out to be an extra 2 seconds long. So what we do is we've done that, and then you can see the original clip ends and then the new clip still continues. And even kind of like over on the edge here where the railings are, it's kept all of that detail in there for us to have those extra couple of seconds. That's one of the options inside of Premiere that I like a lot. I also use this on my mobile. The mobile app Premiere is currently free to use, which is pretty wild to me. It's a really powerful mobile app, and on there is the option to enhance the speech. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding the clip, going to the enhance speech option, turning that on, and you can enhance between speech and also keep some of the background noise beforehand, and it turns it in from sounding like a clip like this. I've got this clip here that I'm using just as a demo to a clip that sounds like this. I've got this clip here that I'm using just as a demo. Now this is especially helpful if you're out and about recording. Sometimes my microphones fail to connect and all of those things there, and it saved my audio so many times just by using the Premiere mobile app. So AI, is it here to replace us or make our lives easier? For me right now, I think these AI additions and these tools inside of these Adobe products are making my life easier. They're making my workflow easier. They're making it easier and quicker to do things like whether it's editing or all of those good things, and it's meaning I have now more time and freedom to go and enjoy the outdoors or spend time with my partner and things like that. If you found this video useful and inspiring in any way, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up and a like. And if you want to try any of the Adobe tools, I'll put a link to those down in the description as well. Any questions you've got for me, I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, thank you very much and bye for now.